Squadron 42 was shown off this year at CitizenCon, and I'm here to give you guys my thoughts on everything. My name is BigFry, and this could possibly be the greatest looking game of all time. The other day on stream, I reacted with you guys to the Squadron 42 I Held the Line video. 26 minutes showcasing Squadron 42, the development of Squadron 42, which is the single player portion of Star Citizen, and holy shit, does this game look unreal. Incredible environment visuals, lighting that blows almost anything else that I have seen out of the water, environmental destruction, like literally everything in this video looks way too good to be true, right? Well, according to Chris Roberts, Squadron 42 is feature complete and has entered the polishing and cleanup stage and still has no release date in sight. That being said, this might be the first time I actually feel confident about Squadron 42 being real, but even more so, actually being good? We still don't know a lot about the nitty-gritty details, but before I get into my opinions, we need to talk about what Squadron 42 is and what we can expect from launch with the information that we know. Squadron 42 is obviously the single-player portion of Star Citizen, but it's actually only the first episode in a three-part trilogy telling this story, according to Roberts. Back in 2015, Roberts stated that we've got a really big story arc, so we're going to split it into a trilogy like Wing Commander 1, 2, and 3. So episode 1 is what people will play this year and has the equivalent of 70 Wing Commander-style missions. Episode 2 is Beyond Enemy Lines, which I think that everyone that backed until like 6 million gets for free, and then episode 3 would be the year after. Now, this was said in 2015. Clearly, they missed those deadlines by a fucking mile. But Squadron 42 is looking to be ambitious as all hell. You play as a recruit in the United Empire of Earth Navy, protecting humanity from threats in space. You live aboard a capital ship, and you get dispatched to various missions within customizable smaller ships, as well as missions done on foot. Think Infinite Warfare if Infinity Ward actually had time to make a game that wasn't on a yearly fucking release cycle. I've been watching The Expanse with my girlfriend, playing Starfield, and now watching this video, it's easy to get lost in the sauce. Some of these shots look absolutely fucking incredible, and I'm finding myself getting excited about something CIG related for the first time, I want to say ever. Gary Oldman, Gillian Anderson, Mark Hamill, Liam Cunningham, John Rhys-Davis. This cast is insane, and there's even more that I didn't even list, and they look so good in-game compared to previous cinematics. And in this 26-minute video, it shows the progress of where they were to where they are now, and it's a night and day difference. Now let's talk about the concerns, which I know a bunch of you are going to be sharing in the comments as this video is playing. As much as this video showed some incredible shots, a star-studded cast, and an overwhelming sense of wow, there were quite a few times where I was watching the frame rates struggle to keep up. Now, we know that they're entering this polishing phase now, so I'm hoping that those performance issues get resolved. When comparing it to the performance we've been experiencing in Star Citizen since forever, I know that it's easy to be cynical here, but a lot of the performance and the lag that you experience in Star Citizen is due to their networking, the lack of server meshing, and about a million different things going on outside of base optimization, which, yes, that game clearly needs. My hope here is that because Squadron 42 will be completely playable offline, that the focus solely goes into hardware optimization without running into a lot of the issues that Star Citizen has faced, currently faces, and will face for the foreseeable future. It feels like it should be a more straightforward polish and cleanup phase, but with that being said, it seems pretty ambitious already, so I can imagine we won't be seeing Squadron 42 in any capacity until at least 2025. I see a lot of folks hoping and coping for 2024. Look, I hope it does too. But if there was anything we can take away from CIG is that time and schedules are not their strong suit. Now, we know this is an ambitious title, spaceships, cinematics, ground missions. The player controller looks as if it leaves a lot to be desired here. Much like Star Citizen, the FPS gameplay looks stiff and clunky, and it's not like I haven't played clunky FPSs before, and in fact, I haven't let that deter me from my fair share of tactical experiences, but it's just that. Squadron 42 isn't a tactical shooter, nor does it look like it's very slow paced. There is a huge difference between slow, tactical clunk and fast-paced, stiff animation clunk. And honestly, it just looks less than stellar in the shots here. We know they have lean and great-looking scopes, and the combat dressings like explosions and destructions super eye-catching, but the moment-to-moment player movement and weapon handling definitely looks underwhelming compared to the rest of the game. The reason I say this is watching the player sprint from crouch to other cover, swap to health pen and back, the motion of re-equipping the weapons looks slow and cumbersome. The actual healing animation is smooth and looks great, but the transitions between movement states and animations look strange and just a little bit too clunky for my liking. I think the best way to put this is it looks a little bit too much like Star Citizen, and if you know, you know. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna leave comments telling me that this game is spaceship focused first, and like, great, I don't give a fuck. I'm an FPS channel. What do you expect? And this combat, even though visually it looks great with all of the set dressings and the explosions, the actual gameplay of it looks less than stellar. I'm also a little bit hesitant on just what the actual game design of this is going to be. So like, we know we're on a ship, we know we get dispatched to do missions. What do those missions entail? We see shots of like grabbing barrels, putting them into machines to do things, but we're not actually quite sure like what the objectives are on these missions. What kind of puzzles are there gonna be? Like, we don't really know what the gameplay loop looks like. You know, when you jump into Infinite Warfare, you're gonna be shooting motherfuckers, you're gonna be coming back to the ship, you're gonna be deploying, you're gonna be shooting motherfuckers and coming back. This one, we're not quite sure. We see a lot of different things going on in this 26-minute video, but where does it all get pieced together? I'm actually really looking forward to the moment where we could see a mission from station to ground and then back, and then we can actually get a grasp and see what we're actually going to be doing. I also think a lot of people, myself included in this, are just kind of over the flashy, you know, promotional stuff that CIG's been doing this entire time. It's great for the people that have bought into it, the guys going to CitizenCon, the ones who have the ships, the ones who are on board and will never question anything like this. All of the skeptics, which I actually put myself into in this category, even though I am excited for a lot of things that they're showing, I'm still kind of just over the promotional hype that CIG does every single year, because following shortly after this is going to be another ship sale for Star Citizen, and it's just the cycle always continues with no concrete, playable, finished products in our hands. Yeah, you can play Star Citizen, and like, fully agree, Star Citizen isn't a scam in the general sense, but I do think that after this many years of development, and I know there's a lot of defense against it, like they had to make technology that does, like, I get it, but as somebody who has criticized CIG and watched the development and watched missed deadlines, like, eventually it becomes, okay, you can show us everything you want, you can say anything you want, when are we getting it? This is a game that when and if it releases and it's good, all of the bullshit, all of the scam calls, all of the hate will be subsided. Will it go away? Fuck no, it's the internet. The goalposts will move and there will be something else people will be freaking out about. With that said, I think I'm at a point where following the development of both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen might actually be worth my time. I'm not saying I'm going to cover every update, that's impossible, but this CitizenCon is the first time in years where I've looked over the fence and thought, damn, this could actually be something. Which means the diehard fans who have been here for years must have all died from spontaneous load blowing after watching some of this stuff. Keep your heads on straight, don't get caught up in the hype, and wait to see what happens. But I'd be lying if I wasn't smiling the entirety of watching that 26-minute video. You guys can watch the VOD on YouTube for my full reaction to that video, but just going through some of these shots here, even though my focus isn't on like boat missions and stuff, the environment shot here when they're going through this little ravine with the valleys and the cliff sides, dude, the textures and the fucking, just the environment shots here are just insane. The lighting in this part with the space kind of floating through the lasers here, I like what I'm seeing here. And this was the first shot where I'm like, wow, this is pretty fucking cool, man. I geeked out over this animation like 16 times, just shoving it back in, and that seamless transition of having something come into your hands and then have it disappear. Their animation work, honestly, is some of the best that I've seen in the industry, straight up. This shot here actually blew my fucking mind. The lighting going on as the character's kind of walking into this destroyed planet. And then right here, this is the shot during the live stream that I was just like, holy fuck. And even watching it back here, man, this looks fucking real. This shot right here makes me fully believe that this is the best looking game I think I've seen in my life. What an incredible feat from this art team. Can it run at higher than 25 FPS? I seriously hope so. But just look at the environments here, man. Like, as someone who has found a lot of appreciation for visuals and graphic design and animation, the display that CIG is putting on here, it makes me excited. I hope the story's good, and I hope the gameplay loop is worth the wait, man. It's been 11 years in development, but this looks fucking awesome. Even this here, the backdrops, the skyboxes, the floating, like, look at the lighting here, man. It just, honestly, the game looks fucking incredible. I'm reserved in my excitement because I need to see it in my hands. I need to see a release date, a concrete, hard release date that they're not going to miss. I do appreciate the fact that they don't want to put release dates out there, but I know that it's also lending to a lot of frustration. It's like, we don't know after this many years, but I'm not gonna lie, I really think that if this comes out and is everything that we want to see, I think that wait's going to be worth it. Honestly, I do. I don't want to jump on the hype train, but god damn if this isn't beautiful. Let me know what you guys think down below. And like I said, if you want to watch my entire reaction to the entire video, there is a VOD on this channel. You can watch that alongside my discussion. My name is BigfryTV. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.